Greeting interwebs, this is Jackie K, and welcome for another edition of Game and Chill. More so the game than the chill, but I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to talk about that quite yet. I've been bouncing between what I wanted to do today and figure I'd at least try to get back into recording, even if I don't feel quite ready yet. I think it'll be fine though. This is a nice game to just relax to. Part of the reason I'm doing this game chill is because I probably would have just played this anyways if I wasn't recording, so nothing really lost if I'm not feeling any better about recording at the end of it. It's just that it feels like I've been at war with my ability and will to record and losing that battle these past couple months. The extended illness into January. I feel significantly better, but not sure if I'm fully better. But right at that point of starting to feel better, I'll just say I'm mentally not doing better. A lot has happened lately, and I still need some time to process all my thoughts on it before diving too much into it, so if I'm kind of sporadic the next few months, that would be why. If I actually decide to drastically change things with the channel, I'll let y'all know, but as of right now, minus the fact I might have to be a little more sporadic and random, I don't think it's over quite yet. Why don't I just get that out of the way? Because I'm basically just throwing out any plans that have a schedule for February and maybe even March. I have videos to upload. Uploads are kind of just whatever I'm able to do with no definite plan or schedule. But considering I do have them already uploaded, even if they're not all scheduled yet, I can at least promise there will be videos, just not of the things you usually see, because honestly a lot of it is of the stream that I did a couple weeks ago of just random Go Battle League battles. I do have one Pokemon XG video and like 2 Lost Age Randomizer videos, but that's it, so there's only going to be like 1 Pokemon XG video and 2 Lost Age videos for the entire month of February. And hopefully I'm feeling enough better to actually get back into the swing of everything by March, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. One thing I forgot to mention, I'm essentially canceling a stream schedule and just streaming whenever I feel it. More so now than ever. Because I just don't even know if I'm confident to actually go back to a streaming schedule again. And kind of just tie back to the personal feelings that I'm still sorting out. What I will share is I have been playing this game a lot off screen, and along the way, when I finally decided to take a break from actually shiny hunting, I decided to finally complete the unknown decks, because apparently just transferring them from other games, well enough to have it technically be mastered in the Pokédex, is not enough to unlock this. Oh, the awkwardness of this haul being longer than intended. Yeah, apparently when you find each of the unknowns on the overworld, they start popping up here. And these unknowns have a chance to be shiny, so if you really want a shiny hunt unknown, there you go. More importantly, now they'll start being one of the possible mass outbreaks that will show up during a massive mass outbreak. So I figured I'd start off the video just doing this for a little bit. Just a little. I might go back to the more traditional grind of just going for massive mass outbreaks in between. You know what, since I'm not really sure if I really want to talk about my life this month, because I'm not too happy with it, we'll leave it at that. What I can do is go over all the shines that I've caught just this month alone. Because it's kind of nuts. You've probably already seen videos on some of them. As of recording this, the video on the prologue here just went up, so this would be a good time to make use of YouTube's video card feature to just show you a link if you want to hear that story. I wish I had more to say about the Drift Bloom, for example, but there's not really too much to it. It's a level 2 Drift Bloom, so as you can expect, I was doing a massive mass outbreak in the first area of the game, and just walking from one mass outbreak to another, the first Drift Bloom shine. Shoot. I don't even remember the story behind this one. I did film it, but yeah, I guess was this one of those crazy moments where I had like a mass outbreak with literally everything? No. Oh yeah, this is the. These two were recorded on. It's bittersweet because of the day that I caught this giant Voltorb. But I kinda wish it was literally every other day. The good news is that this is one of those Pokemon that I was trying to get for the longest time. Like, it's essentially the first shiny goal that I had. It's one of the things that came to mind when my goal was to try to get a Hisuian form of a shiny Pokemon. And I've probably have seen it before this, but I'm blanking out on where at the moment. The whole black on the wooden bottom there is a little bit of a twist. It's a shame that I can't really get a good view of it because between the light in the game and the screen I'm looking at. But I just have to take my word that it's a nice shiny, I suppose. And along with that Silio, I think were Pokemon that I caught from mass outbreaks. I forget if... Also, what is Twilight doing here? Yeah, give me a sec. I don't... I guess this was the next shiny that I got. If not, I'll find it later. This is just a random Starlight that I found. I don't even think I wasn't... I can't even recall if I was actually hunting a mass outbreak at the moment, but I just found the random Starlight just randomly on the Fieldlands. Wish I had a good story for it, but I don't. It just popped up. I'm kind of surprised it took me so long to find a shiny Starly or shiny Bee. I guess I did find a shiny Bidoof already, but I'm surprised with how early I've had this Pokedex entry mastered and how common of a Pokemon it is. It's a little bit of a shock that about 2 years going into this game and I'm only just finding one now. Don't mind me, I'm jumping back to the start because I did remember a detail. I don't think I was doing a mass outbreak at the time, because around this point was when I started diverging into doing other stuff with Legends Arceus besides shiny hunting. So I actually went back to the Fieldlands to rematch Cleavor. To rematch Cleavor. Because I barely touched a lot of the DLC features besides Massive Mass Outbreak. And I think I think it was after doing the Cleavor rematch, I was just flying around, picking up statues, and that's when I found the Starly along the way. These two I gotta get out again because these are part of a pretty beautiful moment. So, this is probably one of the luckiest moments that I've had. And I've kind of just been on a lucky streak with shiny Pokemon hunting ever since that Voltorb. I guess it goes to show the more miserable I am, the better my shiny luck. That's the secret, kids. The secret to finding shiny Pokemon are your tears. These two were from the same Massive Mass Outbreak. Obviously different Pokemon from different ones. But essentially besides that, they were back to back. It's going through the No Pass Outbreak. And one, the Alpha No Pass, just so happened to turn Yellow Gold. God, I never realized how bad the lighting in this area was until today. Might be just a sunrise, but we'll roll with it. Yeah, this Nose Pass here is... It's lucky enough to find it in a Massive Mass Outbreak. And then, trying to squeeze a little bit more out of the timer for that outbreak, I went on over to the Sneasel. Oh, if not right after that, if not after the Nose Pass, then the Pokemon Outbreak immediately after that one. Found this beautiful black and gold Sneasel just hanging in the Outbreak. Again, probably the best luck I've had with a Massive Mass Outbreak ever. And even then, that's kind of saying a lot, considering how lucky my other shiny hunts have been. Well, I would consider the previous day more lucky, if only because it's so rare to get a shiny alpha, as is. And a lot of these are repeats. Technically, they're all either repeats or at least in the same evolution family. But still, I got 3 of them from a single Massive Mass Outbreak. And the sheer, even if the quality could be better, don't let them know that I say that. They can't hear. What they can't hear can't hurt them. They're, especially when they're out like this though, they're adorable in their own right. It's just, I kind of wish I didn't get a third shiny Apom and a second Carnivine, especially considering what I'm going to go over in the future. I'm getting sidetracked though. This is going to be just a shiny talk episode, I can tell already. Like, the only gameplay I'm going to have to share is off the Switch, as if I need more work for myself as is, but however I'm willing to talk, I'm willing to talk this month. What was I getting at? Story. Let's start with you. I think one of the first Pokemon that shined in that Massive Mass Outbreak was this. No, I think actually the Carnivine might have been first. It's kind of hard to remember between the two because they were so close together. They weren't as close together as the Nose Pass and the Sneasel, but again, in the same Massive Mass Outbreak, I got all 3 of these. So maybe the Carnivine came first. Then I got this adorable little Spiel just rolling around, minding his own business, and then the Apom. The Apom was a little bit more work because I got a bit cocky with it. As I was just squeezing it, as I did everything else I wanted to do with the Massive Mass Outbreak at the time, so I was just going around the Apom checks just in case. And of course, in one of those outbreaks, this Apom shine, and I just try to rush it and catch it, but failed horribly in the process and ran away. The bad news of not saving right in front of it. The good news is that obviously I saved. Obviously we're talking to it right now, so I must have been able to re-get it in some form, which is true. I think what it was like I saved after catching the shiny Spiel, but not before doing literally everything else, which kind of worked in my favor because I knew there was nothing else of value in all those other outbreaks that I checked, so I was able to go straight for the Apom outbreak, and sure enough, it came back. And I did a smart thing and actually had the proper precautions and caught the Apom that time. This one here is probably the least eventful of the bunch, the third shiny Carvine. I just caught this last night as I was unlocking the ability to catch unknowns from the ruins there. I was finishing up a mass outbreak. Even that footage because I was doing a test recording where I just do a private OBS stream. Because I was experimenting around with the idea of ways to record my miscellaneous playing of the game, just on the off chance I catch a shiny on film. And doing a private stream to record it was just one of the ways I was thinking of capturing the footage of me playing the game without actually taking up the space on my computer. So, not too crazy, I was just flying around, and after the massive outbreak was open and taking care of any satchels that were laying around, and I just so happened to stumble upon this Carvine along the way. I was really looking for a shiny that night in some form, so I'm happy I got it. I just wish it wasn't my third Carvine. I gotta figure out, as much as I want to hoard, or hoard makes it sound too extreme. I want to hold on to every shiny Pokemon I catch in this game, just as, because so many of them act as memories of my time playing through the game. But after getting like 3 Carvines, maybe I could start opening myself up to trading away like 1 or 2 duplicates I get along the way. I'm still thinking about it, but the thought has entered my mind like a seed, growing into a plant at the very least. Especially because I can like go back on videos like that's super awesome when I did montaging literally every shiny I caught in the game up to 2023. That was a fun New Year's Eve special, or a New Year's celebration in general. I wouldn't even say New Year's Day with how late it came out, but I liked putting it together. It did really well. So, I'm in a weird spot with recording right now, but assuming I get back into the groove of it all, and don't just give up on the channel altogether, I kind of want to do something like that again for next year. Part of the reason of experimenting with recording my footage more is to make that process easier on me. Oh, I guess I was going to say, of course, right when I was about to leave, space-time rifts apart. But I guess standing out here in the middle of the rain, just standing and talking about my shiny Pokemon, that was going to happen eventually. I was going to do a mass outbreak to end off the recording. But why not? I do a lot of mass outbreaks. Why not throw something like this? Doing something like a space-time rift would help spice things up a little. We just gotta wait for it to form. Isn't like the only thing I gotta do with this Arcanine before I can box it? Just use Rock Slide a couple times? Maybe I should... Guess it wouldn't hurt to get on that. I've enjoyed using Hisui in Arcane 9 as I grind out the research task for it. So it's gonna be a sad day when I finish the field research and end up boxing it. Because I've enjoyed the guy. Like, if I were to ever find myself getting back into Scarlet and Violet, this is definitely going to be one of the ones I transfer over to that game to try to build a team for the raids. Like, I'm apparently a sucker for punishments, because no matter how much I complain about it and have a miserable time every time I boot it up, I always find myself getting back into opening up Scarlet and Violet, trying to get back into the game. And it's like, I gotta open the game up in order to renew my, not coin box, is it coin bag or mystery box? Like, I was gonna say there's so many that is so Pokemon Go accessory tying to connectivity to other game features that it's easy to lose track, but there's literally only 2. But alas, that's kind of what's happening. What was the point I was getting at? Oh yeah, just the whole... Like, part of it's because I gotta open up the game anyways, if I want to eventually get enough coins to get Gimme Ghoul in Pokemon... What's Golgango? That's not how you pronounce it, but Gold Super Dude. You need to do a lot of connectivity with Scarlet and Violet to get them in Pokemon Go, because the grinding process is even more tedious than it is in Scarlet and Violet. I swear, I actually evolved a Golgango. Can I just call him Surfer Dude? I feel like I'm failing terribly every time I even attempt to pronounce his name. So every time I try to... Like, it takes so many coins. Well, technically it takes the same amount of coins, but it's so much more work to get those coins in Pokemon Go that I literally got enough coins just from doing the transfer in Scarlet and Violet before I even was halfway to getting the coins I need to do that same exact evolution in Pokemon Go. So the good news is I have my own Surfer Dude, for Pokedex reasons at the very least. The bad news is that I still gotta open up the game a bunch more times before I can get one in Pokemon Go. And so we'll see how long that takes at the end of the day. I almost forgot the whole reason I brought that up was because I was mentioning, even, like, I want to, like, I keep falling into the trap of trying to play Scarlet and Violet, even though time and time again I've shown to myself that I don't enjoy roaming around that game world. And I think a big part of it is because I want to like it. I really enjoyed the story of Scarlet and Violet and played it from beginning to end, and like there's all these other things that tempt me back into it, like easier ways to catch shiny Pokemon and all that. It being a more modern game, so you're more likely to find people to actually receive your shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Go that you're trying to get rid of. A lot of elements like that. And yet every time I find myself filled with regret. Except for the times when I'm on the treadmill. Actually getting exercise out of my misery kind of balances out said misery. And even saying that is a miserable experience is a bit of an exaggeration. I just wouldn't call it a fun experience. And it's like, I want to like it so much, and I feel like I would like the game more if I could actually get into the game's rating system. But, like, I don't think it's too controversial to say that the rating just is bad. I don't like how... I don't like how min-maxed it is. But even if that wasn't the case, I think I would still be able to tolerate it and have the patience to actually grind out the Pokemon that I need. If the gameplay of the raids was more fun. I don't know, they took a risk. I wouldn't even say they took a risk. They tried to do the natural evolution and make it real time, and yet it just seems to bite the feature in the face to do so. I'm just not sure how you would make it better while making it real time, because it just feels like it might be lag, but it feels like I barely get to do anything. Every time I make an action, like the opponent, way more time than it needs to, pops off that radar. The raid boss, attacks like 5 times in the time that it takes me to do one attack. And by the time I can really get to do anything, it pulls up all those gimmicks of... It pulls up one of as many gimmicks of like Terranet, because like how you need to actually terrestrialize when it goes into shield mode. In paper, that would be a cool way to implement the shield feature in a less annoying way than in Sword and Shield. But in practice, it's pretty much just like puts up his shield before you can even do your first attack because of how much lag the online has for the feature. And ironically, it would be something that wouldn't be an issue if the game wasn't in real time. And it's like, it's so hard not to engage with the raiding feature though, because that's the only way doing the high level raids is the only way you get Herba Mystica. And Herba Mystica is what you need in order to do your shiny hunts, because that's how you get the super powerful sandwiches that actually increase shiny odds. Meanwhile, the alternative is just like standing in place and letting your Pokemon attack the same thing over and over again until the odds work in your favor. Man, I don't mean to drag on Scarlet and Violet. People like the game, deserve to like the game. I'm actually a little envious of anyone who likes Scarlet and Violet, because I want to like the game so badly, but I just can't get into it no matter what I try. I guess this also helps that like just the environment of Legends Arceus kind of fits my playstyle. The music's more mellow, which makes it easier to relax to. Sure, I'm doing a bit of battling in situations like this, but just having the option to capture a bunch of Pokemon without initiating a single battle seems so much more fun to me. And I don't want this to turn into a drag on Scarlet and Violet, because I know the last time I did that, like, I almost got disliked for it, because, again, no qualms against anyone who likes Scarlet and Violet. I really wish I could like the game. But I can't. I just can't get into it no matter how hard I try. Let me see. I feel like I'm just going around in circles at this point though. Let me see if I can think up of literally anything else to change the topic to. And after all, got this mass outbreak that we've all been waiting for. I guess it would be kind of interesting. I guess this would be an interesting topic that we think about. How sure are we that there will be a Legends Arceus 2? So much of the community talks about it like it's inevitable. But I don't know. Like, I think a lot of people would agree that this is more fun, but Scarlet and Violet were still profitable. And I guess the big thing is, like, as much as you think that I would be oozing out of the mouth, waiting on bated breath for a sequel to this game, just because of how much I enjoy this one, I don't know, like, I guess it's only a matter of time before everyone gets bored of playing the same thing eventually. I guess. But despite how tedious the things I'm doing would be to the average person, I haven't gotten bored of this game yet. I'm sure I would have found something else to do gaming chills on by now if I was actually getting bored of Pokemon Legends Arceus. And, like, I guess part of the reason why I'm not hyped, like, I definitely won't complain. I'll be right there with all the fans if they do announce another Pokemon Legends game. But you don't hear me talking about it too much because, like, I'm perfectly cool with what we have here, even 2 years later. The only thing I regret is that I'm a little sad that the player plays moved on from this game so quickly. Like, they released a tiny bit of DLC for Pokemon Legends, and then immediately announced Scarlet and Violet. And that's pretty much when the community moved on to Scarlet and Violet. Which I can't even blame them because it is way more... It has all the elements that traditional Pokemon fans want out of a Pokemon game more than this one does. And I kind of, like, I've been experimenting around with the trading function because you'd be surprised, even all this time later, you can still trade in this game. It's a little bit dead, but, like, just tapping all ones into the trade code, I was actually able to find people to trade with. It was all fun and dandy the first little bit that I was doing it. First day that I went back into trading, even 2 years later, I was pretty excited with the people that I was able to trade with, and it was a fun time interacting with them the best way that I possibly could. However, because I enjoyed it so much, I went back to it in the future, and that's when I really started noticing the trade bots and all the hacked Pokemon. What stuff you'd normally expect to happen when a game has essentially been abandoned by the community. It's a shame. Because, one, I'm always looking for a good excuse to get rid of some of the spare shiny Pokemon that I get from Pokemon Go on community days. But two, it was conceptually a fun way to actually interact with the people that also enjoy playing this game like I do. And just makes me wish I actually engaged with that feature more while there was still an active community around the game. At least when there was an active amount of people actually using the trading feature. It's not exactly fair to say that the game's community is dead. As a Golden Sun fan, I know that even things that seem dead aren't really as dead when you're actually in those said communities. Oh yeah, I guess the Golden Sun Virtual Console stuff came out in between the last game and show and this one. Why haven't I been talking about that? I guess I've just been too depressed to even think about it. So I feel like I stumbled a bit trying to explain my feelings towards the Golden Sun release on NSO. So let me try in full. It's a post commentary a day later where I'm feeling quite a bit better than the day before. So this should work out better. The main takeaway is that I'm glad it's there, but there's only so excited I can be between what it is and everything that was going around during the time of its release for me. I'm more so excited that more people will have an opportunity to play the game, because for me, having access to this game was a non-issue already. Though I do feel bad that I couldn't hype it up more than I did, with being a Golden Sun fan and all, but of course, it had to be announced and released right around the time I was sick. So I wasn't gonna bust down day of release to do a live stream of the NSO release or anything. It doesn't help that I'm already doing so much with Golden Sun with the Lost Age randomizer and playtesting on my own time for Dawn of Jin second mix. It is still in the works. My progress has been more slow, so I haven't really had as much to talk about as of late. And again, none of this was helped by the fact that I was sick. Though, I don't know how much I could hype up an NSO release, even if I wasn't sick. I already have plenty of access to Golden Sun, and I'm not the biggest NSO fan, so my excitement's more for other people than it is for me myself. I just wish that Nintendo had more to offer for the retro games besides Nintendo Switch Online, because I am kind of just in that boat of preferring to buy games rather than pay for a streaming service. Hold on, I need to see Cynical from the front. I've been looking at his back for so long, I was getting the illusions that it was shiny. Because I'll probably play out NSO eventually because I'm that much of a Golden Sun nerd, but the progress will definitely be slower because if I am going to play the game, my focus is probably going to be playtesting Dawn of Jin or making my way through the rest of the Lost Age randomizer. Even for me, you can only squeeze so much of one thing into your life. Not helped by the fact that I've played so much on modded versions of the game, that going back to some of the features that I've gotten way too used to is pretty hard. Things like fast travel and making the dialogue go by much faster are things I've definitely gotten used to. Even the ability to toggle encounters on and off, even though I try to avoid, because I do feel the level difficulty is built around it to a point that if you take everything you run into, you never have to worry about grinding. I'm getting on a tangent though. Point being, even that's a useful feature for situations like backtracking. I could go on, but this is a pretty big video as is, so I really should let the live commentated version myself carry as much of the work as possible. I spend a lot of time playing Golden Sun, especially Golden Sun 1, as is, to the point where I don't know if I can literally play any more Golden Sun. It's like drinking chocolate milk. You can love chocolate milk, but eventually you can only drink so much chocolate milk. So I feel a bit bad that I'm not able to get more excited and hype up the whole NSO thing as much as I would like. But when you look at it from my perspective, it's, of course I'm not going to be as hype about Golden Sun despite it being one of my favorite things ever. Because I already have access to it. I can already play it. I have the original Game Boy Advance release. And I don't know, like, it's not generating as much new Golden Sun content as I thought it would. There's obviously been the reviews, and I have been enjoying the reviews that I've seen. I don't know, I wasn't exactly expecting, but I was definitely hoping that this would spawn a new wave of Golden Sun content, if even for a little bit. But I haven't really, outside of those reviews I mentioned, I haven't really seen too many people actually making stuff with it. There's definitely been more people streaming it on Twitch, because I am following the channel, and I definitely see that viewer count for the game, the category of the game itself, be significantly higher than usual, but I don't know, it's not the same thing to me because again, I played Golden Sun, especially the first one, so much already. I'm not exactly foaming at the mouth to see yet another playthrough of the game right now. I guess I was looking for more creative content to come out of it. Maybe like maybe I'm just not looking hard enough, because I'll admit, it's been a while since I scourged the dairy bombs of YouTube looking for Golden Sun videos in particular to catch my eye. And just the unfortunate fact that it came at the worst time for me personally. It literally literally was released while I was sick. So I couldn't even do anything content creation wise to celebrate it. At least not beyond what I was already doing with the loss of age randomizer and all that. And then, like, all this stuff on the internet that's kind of shaking up my entire social life also came into the mix. Oh, I didn't even realize that someone was trying to completely obliterate me and everything I stand for. You know, Sneasler is great and all, but I can't help but get annoyed by it. Like, it always... The auto Sneasler annoys me to no ends. Like, what? Why can't you climb trees? You do it the first time, it's like, oh cool, I can climb a tree. And then, like, every time you're tapping A while riding your Waydeer, trying to get all the shards before the space-time rift disappears, and you just auto-click... You auto-click Sneasler and climb a tree. That annoys me to no end. In a perfect world, we'd be able to toggle Tree Sneasler on and off. But if I've learned anything in good old 2024, the world is far from perfect. God, I'm almost out. I'm officially out of pop, and don't feel any better than when I started, which isn't as bad as it seemed, but I was hoping for more. What happened now? I can't even remember what I've done. Still have yet to do with this guy. I'm not exactly looking forward to editing because while editing was a great thing to do while I was sick, but I just couldn't do more because I ran out of stuff to edit. With the state I'm in now, even getting the motivation to edit is kind of hard. I'm making progress, obviously, because I'm doing this. Oh, hey! Is a non-alpha Snorlax. It's been a hot minute since I've last seen one of these. Shame that's in the space-time rift where I can't feed it. Like, how do they expect you to do this one? Literally just feeding it alpha 50 times in a row? Because I don't know about you, but I have not seen too many Snorlaxes throughout the course of playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. You think with me being an endgame and all that I would at least be able to find them in mass outbreaks or something, but nope. Cool. You gotta love it when you're just getting ganged up on. It is cool that even this late into the game, though, that I wouldn't say that the game bodies me, but I would say that I still have to actually think about my battles and not just press A, otherwise I will get bodied. And like, if I didn't have essentially an infinite source of healing items with everything else, like with all the money and resources I have, these battles would be kind of frightening if I didn't have the safety net of just reviving my Pokemon after every battle. Then these would be really frightening fights. And even with that luxury, I still can appreciate this level of challenge, because even if I'm never in any threat of true danger, I actually don't want to just keep reviving my Pokemon. You have any idea how expensive all these revives are? So there is some... So even this late in the game, there is some... what's the word I'm looking for? Let's go with risk management until I can think of something better. There's still so much risk management that comes out of this game. even this late into it. And obviously, by not bringing level 100 Pokemon, this is all a lot harder than I thought. I wasn't if you couldn't tell, I wasn't expecting to do a space-time rift. If I had my brain on even a little, I probably would have gotten a couple more of my main Pokemon that are at level 100 to tackle on this thing. I guess I got so... The last couple times I've done them were in the field lands where they're kind of weaker because they're later in the game, or earlier in the game. Point being, I'm getting bodied, and I can appreciate that. Thank you, Stealth Rocks. Not gonna lie, the rocks pretty much did all the work in this battle for me, and I probably would have had a full team wipe if that didn't happen. Nothing too scary because I could just revive, but still. Yeah, it definitely was not my most brilliant idea to bring the level 54 Ursaring into this charade. But it's too late now. And this has been kind of going on for an hour, so I'm going to just cut the rest of this out unless something exciting happens, because I'm ready to end the episode. I kind of feel like... I enjoyed myself, but I kind of feel like my commentary isn't that great, and I'm kind of worried that I talk too much about the negatives. But speaking of, Heracross, right, you can't be on a Pokemon and check a Pokemon. Of course, all I have to do is see you pop out of a tree one more time, and the pink Heracross will finally be at reach. You know, I don't have to fight these Pokemon. I can boop them on the head and be along their merry way. Wait, Cooler? Oh, wait. That was the sound of something attacking me. And yet it didn't. Oh, but it sucks that I wasted a perfectly good Sticky Glob. Mud is not as easy a resource to find as you would think. Wish I could just take money from this game into IRL, even more so. Take mud from IRL into this game, because my god, mud, this is the only time in my life that I actually value mud so much, and I wish I would have done it. Wish I would have realized how valuable mud would be before I sold a bunch of it real early on in my adventure. Now, I know this has been going on for long as is, and editing me is gonna hate this. But to end things off, I want to just check this cave one more time. Have some fun with these unknowns. So, thank you all for tuning in for this edition of Game and Chill. It's nice to have this little activity to do every time I do a mass outbreak in this area now. So I'm glad I finally got around to finishing up this unknown side quest, if only for this. Alright, I think that's the last one. It's not gonna be much brighter outside. Thanks again for tuning in for this edition of Game and Chill. Until next time, see y'all later. Sorry if this wasn't my best commentary month. Here's hoping that March is better, and what I was able to muster for February is enjoyable nevertheless. Until then though, take care.